Danny Comerford. Thanks for coming on the podcast, mate.
I appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem, mate. It's good. I think we should tell the people at home the disasters we've had to try and get this going.
Yes.
The bookings we've had, the spin classes that we nearly ended up doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And then the fact that it's torrential rain outside, and we've managed to get here because we love our audience.
It's not been easy.
No, thanks for coming on, mate. So, Danny, you're on the podcast because you have your own business. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that and history to it, mate?
Yeah, so I own an online suit company, made-to-measure suit company, and that got started just because I come from a poor background, and how it got started really is I always was interested in fashion, and I could never afford a suit or anything like that. So pretty much I just did a lot of research, and I found manufacturers and people like that where I could obviously get them a lot cheaper because I'm getting them direct from the manufacturer. So I ordered a few, and it just gave me the idea of that I could sell them, because I could sell them for a lot lower price of obviously like how much a made-to-measure suit usually costs. Mine are a lot cheaper than that. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really have any business background or anything but I had to learn. I had to learn how to build a website and everything, everything involved. I had to learn. That was how it came about, really.
I think that's one of the reasons I've been so excited to get you on the show, is that, as I was just saying to you, because I find that we run really parallel, because I come from no business background whatsoever, and I've had to learn everything. And one of the main things that we want to tell these guys on this podcast series is the ins and outs of starting a business, and hopefully give some good tips. And I think one of the biggest advice I can give is how difficult, how much of a learning curve. So just to reiterate, when did you first start your business, and how long did it take before you actually received your first batch of clothing?
What do you mean by received? See, I because my suits are made to measure, so I don't stock any of the products, so they go straight. Obviously, because I can't stock them because I don't know what you're, unless I've got every size possible, so they go direct from the manufacturer direct to you. But in terms of getting my first order, see, I started building the business about 2 years ago, but I never really sold because I think I'm a perfectionist, and I think that's one of the biggest problems with business is perfectionism. It's never going to be perfect, and that was a problem. So I spent probably too much time trying to get it perfect. But I spent probably at least a year just actually building the website and everything like that.
I think I'm 13 months in now, and I've still not released my first batch of clothing. And that's because when I first started, Danny, there was the thing of, well, first I come from a business background like yourself, so you have to learn about business, and then marketing, and then, did you have to deal with tech packs?
Do what?
Technical packs. Do you know anything? Right.
What's that?
So the way I've done it is I'm manufacturing in China,
right.
So I have to build a technical pack to send out to someone that's like the design of the clothes. It's obviously different for yourself, so but it's like design of the clothes, so I had to learn all these technical packs, and there's no information on the internet about these. You've really got to.
So what is a technical pack?
So a technical pack is the awkward thing is as well is the way I learn. So you have a picture of your clothing, so I say a picture of a t-shirt.
Right.
You have all your design measurements. So I'll design my t-shirt on and say what I want on, say one of the Adobe software, and I'll get how I want to look. So black, grey, whatever, like white sleeves, whatever design I want to go to. So I have to then type like all the measurements, which as you know about measuring the clothes. So all your measurements, I had to learn how these manufacturers want these measurements, but then I had to learn about every different type of stitching, you basically have to put all this information in the design, and then you have to literally have every single exact measurement and design, everything written down. It's about a 5-page document, just for a t-shirt.
Yeah, so that's quite in depth.
Oh, and I had no idea what I was doing. even honestly, Danny, even when I got into learning just the seams alone. there's so many the technical jargon is ridiculous. So yeah, I had the technical parts to deal with, which was a nightmare. It was saving grace if you want to go for.
Is that all sorted now?
Oh yeah, again that was just part of the learning curve.
Are you ready to start selling now or?
Yeah, so I'm just waiting, I've just had the PP samples come through, my pre-production samples, so now I've approved that, so I'm just waiting for my first book order.
How did you get into this then?
So, for me it was, because I love the gym, a bit of a passion of mine is the gym, I don't get to get there much anymore because I'm not just that time restricted, but I always loved the gym, so I just wanted to start a business around my passion. You know,
this is the first business you started?
First business I've ever done. I had no business background at all, and yeah, so you know, I thought, right, well, I want to do something around the gym, get into gym clothing, and obviously gym wear. So then that started me on my learning curve, and it's just been a constant learning curve.
You just had the idea, and it just.
Yeah, it just stemmed. Do you know what it stemmed with? It stemmed with the name.
That was the same with me. Like you have the idea, and you think I ain't got a clue how I'm going to do it, what I need to do, but I'll figure it out.
This is what I want to do. Yeah. So I think it's that passion. You have to run within your lane and do something you really enjoy, and like yourself, you have to. And again, I want to really tell these guys how difficult when you're starting out, especially with no business background. You've got to the relentless hours it takes on learning how to build a website and how to, you know, just learning out what marketing is and what SEO is and you know how to email marketing. It's just relentless. It really is.
That's what I'd say is that, as you said about doing something you love. That's the most important thing because if you don't love what you do, then you're not going to be motivated.
No. When you're, I don't know, like yourself, I don't know about yourself, Danny, but there's times where, like last night, I was filming a podcast on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And so for the last 2 nights, I've been up till 4 o'clock in the morning editing, so I can get that done, so then we can start this one and get this one edited. So
that's the business
if you're not, and if you're not in love with what you do, you're gonna find excuses. It's just not gonna come up. So I think you're right there, mate. I really think you're right. Just to get in, I'm just gonna put in a bit of a plug here. Where can we find your website?
My website is www.comerfordscustomclothing.com.
Cool. Just so people can get there and find out. So, when did you start this business? Then did you say?
2017, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So 2 years ago, because your background, you come from you were studying medical science.
At college.
Yeah, and you just gave that up.
No, I graduated from college and then I applied for uni. I got accepted, and the first person in my family to get accepted. But I don't know. That's the point in your life when you're thinking about what do I want to do, because obviously you go to school is mandatory. Go to college. I think now it's mandatory, but it wasn't when I was at college. And then you think, well, because I think the thing is, uni is not free. You have to pay it, 30-40 grand.
Substantial sum.
So, and I'm interested in science, but it's not. I just didn't want to do it for a living. I don't know. I don't know why. Why I want to do. Why I always wanted to work for myself. I don't know why, because I didn't really know it until after college.
Yeah. I think it's
like no one in my family owns a business or anything like that. It's weird.
I think a lot of it is to do with this day and age and the media and YouTube, and it is when I was 10, 15 years ago, when I was just leaving, 10 years ago when I was just leaving school. It wasn't out there. No one told me that I could go and start a business, and no one saw that there wasn't such things like social media. Just one relevant back then, and I think now it's out there so much more that there is that anyone can start a business, absolutely anybody. And I think having that knowledge just in the background and seeing other individuals of similar ages that are going out there and doing it opens that door to say, well, this is an option.
Yeah.
This is an option that I can do, and I think if you're clever enough. And I honestly think this, you're going to spend the next, sorry to repeat ourselves, but we were talking about this last week. If you're going to spend the next 50, 60, 70 years working, because let's be honest, by the time we get to 70, you know, the age is going to be 120.
Yeah.
So you're going to spend the next 70 years working.
Yeah.
It's got to be doing something.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Yeah. That's what it is. I think you look forward in your life, and you just. I couldn't spend like my entire life working in a 9-to-5 job what I hate, and I mean 90% of people hate the job. So I think that's what it is. I've got hunger for progression. I always need to be moving forward, always.
That's good, mate. It's good. It's good. What else I like about you and your website is I've noticed that it's very innovative. I'd say innovative. It's because you can go online from the comfort of your own home. You can click on your website.
Yeah.
You can, I believe you're developing an app at the moment, so it takes your measurements for you, because that's another big thing. No one wants to stand there, take measurements for you, and then you know you can have a custom fit and custom cut and tailors how you want, and that it's
It's the future.
Brilliant.
It's the future. Online is the future. You see all the shops are closing, and that's the way it's going to keep going. You can either complain about it, or you can think, right, well, what am I going to do? Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, I think what you're doing is quite disruptive.
In what way?
Disruptive to the silk fashion industry, because from my understanding, don't quote me on this, but my understanding is I don't think there's anybody else out there doing that, which offers a great chance for you. You know, you're on the outside of your lane, you're thinking outside the box, and it's
if I go about it the right way, I can do well. That's what it's about, and going about it the right way. Easier said than done. It just takes time, patience.
It does, mate. It does. I don't think you're going the right way about it, though. I think you're doing really well. I think one of the areas that I'm struggling with in my business is I haven't actually found that innovative edge yet. And I'm thinking it's all about brand, building brand, hence podcasting, things like that. So that's a 10-15 year game, you know, it really is a long game. So I'm still yet to find my innovative edge, which I will do, it'll come. But
I think you're doing the right things, doing stuff like this. See, what I'd advise, because most entrepreneurs, business people, they're always asking people, you know, buy this, but they're not giving any value. You're doing a podcast, you're giving people value.
And that's key.
That's how you build a brand.
Yeah, it is your key. And that's really the way I'm trying to direct my business in. But I do love this disruptive edge that you've got, because, like you said, I've got no intention of going into a store. It's a falling trade. There's no room for it in this world society. So no, I think you're right. I mean, do you ever plan on going into a store?
I've never, because for me that would be. I always say that would be limiting my audience.
Taking a step backwards as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, I see no benefit. You never know, do you? But I mean, I'm still in the early days, but I see no benefit to that, because you've got more expenses, more overheads. So it's costing you more, and you're getting less business because you're limited to the number of people in that area.
And you just look at the shop trend and what's going on with that.
To be honest with you, I think it's going to keep going on the way it's going with shops closing. You only, eventually, maybe barbers stay open. The things that provide a service that you can't get your hair cut on that.
No.
So you're going to need barbers.
But
everything else is going to be going.
It's the there or not.
Yeah, like I say, you can write a sulk about it, or you can
innovate or die.
It's just evolution, it's progression, it's the way the world's going. People are trying to hold on to the past of what we've already got.
Have you looked into voice?
Voice?
Yeah, voice. So you know, like things that's going on with, say, the Echo Dot, things like that. Maybe that's you've got to start getting into that. That's the way forward. I mean, VR will be there, but we're still 10, 15, 20 years off, that really taking off and becoming the next internet, which it eventually will do. I think that's definitely where it's going to go. But voice is the next 5 to 8 years, maybe.
You're right.
Everyone's going to be on voice. I think the biggest thing that I'm looking at now is how do I implement businesses such as ours into that voice environment.
Yeah, I mean, podcasts are quite a relatively new thing, and they're going to be growing, I think, even bigger than video, because you can multitask, you can listen, and you can do something else. Video, you're limited, you have to sit there and watch it. And I know when I watch YouTube, you can't turn the app off because then the sound goes off.
Yeah.
So that's annoying.
And that really does annoy me that. And the only way you can stop that, you can do it, you know, but you've got to pay for it.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Subscription
Yeah, I've seen
that. But I'm really lucky where I work, I want to wear earphones. So I spend 8 hours a day just consuming content, absolutely consuming content.
What content do you?
Whatever I'm struggling with at the moment. So if it's, you know, when I was looking at designing a website, it was everything to build a website, it's just consuming everything to do with the business. So to be fair, now I've kind of got past that stage. I'm now looking into things like what we're discussing now.
So what stage are you? Have you got a website now?
Yeah, I've got my website.
And you've done a lot on your own?
Yeah, I've got my website.
What's the word? What platform are you using? Like I use Shopify.
So I'm not using a platform, I've actually set up my own website.
Oh, like
through WordPress.
Right.
Yeah.
That's even more tricky.
Do you know what, mate? I found a video on YouTube and it took me 3 videos, it took me maybe 4 or 5 attempts, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, but by the end of it I had it perfect, I'll show you now.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's just, again, I'm a lot more lucky than a lot of other people because while I'm at work, I have a mundane job, so I pressing buttons, so I can just, I use YouTube as a podcast and I just get in there and just consume it and go home and implement. So I've been lucky in that sense, but I'm going to go off script a bit here.
So what's the name of the brand?
Gym Made.
Gym Made, as in M-A-D-E?
Yeah, Gym Made. So Danny, tell me, I know you must have, I've had a few, so you're going to have to spill the beans here. What failures, not failures, bumps in the road, challenges.
That's the thing, I don't like the word failure, because a failure is, you can never fail because a failure is like the end of the road, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
no such thing as failure.
There's no such thing because for you to fail, you stop there.
Yeah. No.
What failures have I had? What I'd say is, right now actually, is a time where I've realised that my current manufacturer can't keep up with the demand.
Right.
Which is a good problem to have,
yeah.
but it's a problem, and it needs to be solved. So, I suppose you could class that because I'm currently looking for a new manufacturer, and I'm also looking for maybe a more local manufacturer.
Is your manufacturer in the UK?
No, my manufacturer is currently overseas, but I'm looking at new manufacturers in the UK now, because obviously overseas you get yours from China, and it's cheaper, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I'd like a local one, but that's going to put the prices up.
It is, yeah.
Which, obviously my USP is that my suits are affordable for what they are, the cheap for what you get, so for me to do that, I suppose that's where I'm at now, so I suppose I'm going through a bump.
There's a real issue, and funnily enough, I'm having an issue with my manufacturer at the moment, and it's not so much a production, it's a communication issue I'm having with them. They're really
language barrier.
Yeah, no, not even a language barrier. They really will take days, sometimes weeks to respond to an email, and that I can't work under them circumstances. So if I don't mind like 24, but I want to.
And up until this point, it's been fine for me. I've been doing it full time for about a year now, and it's been fine. But as I say, as demand increases,
scalability.
Yeah, exactly. I need to scale, and so
the thing is with manufacturers, I find. I mean, you know yourself. I mean, when I was looking for a manufacturer, that was one of, next to the technical parts, that was one of the biggest challenges I had, because it is such a struggle to find a decent manufacturer, and you never know what you're going to get, especially when you're going to.
That's the thing with that, is that it takes time.
It does.
It takes time, because obviously you need to test out the product, and you need to it's like building a relationship. You need to know that you can trust them and stuff like that, and there's no way of knowing that straight away. It just takes time.
And what's your turnaround time like with them?
On suit, before you order it, you get it on average about a month.
Right, okay.
Which is, I mean, on average for other places, you're talking about 8 weeks.
Yeah, I have a long, it's a long time, which, for the beginning, for someone like me, because I'll be stocking that.
Yeah, that's fine for stocking, yeah.
In the future, when when I have a big batch, a large batch, and then I can say, right, well, I'm 50% down, I can reorder because that's going to take X, Y, and Z to get to me. So that's going to work, that's going to be a little bit more efficient for myself, but yeah, no, a month's not too bad. A month's not too bad.
That's good. That's good. I'm
Yeah,
happy with it,
yeah. Manufacturers are a killer. I really struggled. I was looking at staying in land because just for lead times alone, the prices are staggering. It is such a difference.
Yeah.
And when you, like you say, especially starting out, you need, and your unique selling point, it's being cheap, affordable. It does make it.
And putting the price up would change that completely, and I'd have to change, like, what small change, we'd have to change my entire marketing and everything.
Yeah. I had a struggle. One of my biggest struggles was I put my brand up at the intellectual property office, to get it registered. So that takes a 3-month process. So I was in my last week, and then that brand was my initial brand, my initial design. And I got a letter through the door from our solicitors I am going to name them, but an extremely large company, an extremely well-established company, was saying my logo was too like theirs, and I've got like a week to take it down and to unregister it from the IPO office, or they was going to start giving me charges and suing me, things like that. So I was like, I got excited about a full rebrand, an absolute full rebrand, and I think where I've gone wrong was I've fallen in love with my original design. You don't really fall in love with it. So that was a big bump in the road. I had to scrap that, kind of a complete rebrand, reworking the website, everything, every aspect of it. That was a bit of a challenge. But yeah. There is bumps in the road, and I think what you said, Danny, really, there is no such thing as failures unless you let there be failures. It's just bumps.
For me, failure would be quitting.
Yeah,
that's failure.
Exactly, end of the line.
As long as you keep going, you've not failed.
It's just a challenge, it's just a bump in the road.
And I think that's what's required is that resilience to keep going.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people would just quit. A small bump in the road is a head up, and most people do quit.
Yeah, and I think that's why so many businesses fall off. I was reading something. Where was I finding that? I'll have to look it up. But I was reading something that was stating that there are 660,000 businesses registered a year.
In the UK or worldwide?
I am going to have to double check on this. You can't quote me 100%, but I'm sure this is UK. 660,000 businesses registered a year.
Yeah.
Out of that, 60% fail within the first 3 years, and 20% fail within the first year.
Yeah.
So 20% of 660,000, whatever it was. So what's that? 120,000 businesses a year in the first year fail, registered businesses.
I can imagine that. It's not, that doesn't surprise me because I think
that's a huge number, right?
It is, but I don't think it's for a lot of people. I think a lot of people want the results, they want the rewards, but they don't want to put the work in.
I think the other things as well is people enter into this environment, because that's exactly what it is. It's a stressful environment, thinking 6 months down the line I'll be a millionaire, I'm going to have a Ferrari, and I'm like, it just doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
People, I think the issue comes, that people will see something like Jim King, it appears that it just sprung up overnight. And people are like, I can do that. They don't realise that. They probably spent 10 years behind the scenes building to that point.
Definitely.
It's
patience, like I said, patience.
It is, it's everything to it. Right, I'm just going to check how many businesses, because I need to fact check. I can't start putting false facts out there. In the UK per year, how many startups? Yeah, it's an insane number. So, the Telegraph, that's where I found it. So this is how trustworthy they are. There you go. 666,000 new companies are registered in the UK every year. That's equal to 70 businesses being formed every hour. That's fucking nuts. That's insane.
Yeah.
And when I think for people like us, because let's face it, we're in a low capital investment, low risk business. When you look at that, that's what we fall under. Retail is definitely one of those areas. So this is such a mainstream area. There's so many people out there right now, this second, just starting up their own companies similar to ours. So in order to differentiate from those different individual businesses, it's so hard. I think my only relief from that fact is that I know 60% of them are going to fail like that. Because I know they haven't got the willpower, they haven't got the
you use that to your advantage.
Yeah, so that keeps me from really getting depressed, to be honest, because it's a huge amount of business. And when you look at worldwide, like gym, clothing, suit business, there's so many people that are getting into that line. You've got to differentiate, which is why I think what you're doing is so vital. Yeah. Okay, mate. So we've talked.
So this is aimed at new startups. You said this is for people who are looking.
This is for anybody who's either looking at starting a business, have just started a business, maybe year 1, year 2, and that's really where I'm looking. But at the same time, I think it's going to evolve into something more. I had the gentleman I had on earlier this week, Matt Das. He's obviously an extremely well-established businessman, and he runs something called for entrepreneurs only. Do you know it? Yeah.
I know. Yeah, they're always asking me to come down.
Yeah, so he works with them, and he works in the top tier. There's like 3 different tiers.
Right.
He works in the top tier, and he helps developing already well-established companies. So just by relating that, letting people know that's out there. So I think it's going to evolve into less than just for startups, but for anybody in business, which I'm excited about. I think that's good.
Okay.
The idea is that I get to learn about new business and learn from people that are already in the trade. Like you're obviously ahead of me now, so we'll get some great info from you, and then we can get that out there to everybody else who's in a similar position.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah. I'd love to. If there's anything I can do to help, I'd love to.
Yeah.
The thing with me is I love business. Like I do a lot. Like I'm currently I mentor a group at Mallet Lambert, an organisation called Young Enterprise. I just started doing that.
I've seen something about this. I've noticed online that you talk about it, mate, because
I don't know. I'm curious what you've noticed.
it was I'm lying. It was Role Models Yorkshire.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, see what I mean? I'm trying to keep busy, yeah. No, Role Models Yorkshire that's more for me to give inspiration, because that's aimed for people who come from a background like us, because let's face it, the way I was brought up was that what I'm doing now was unrealistic. That was never in my sight, of what I was going to do. For me, it was always working a 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life, and I'm kind of rebelled against that. And I suppose I'll go around schools and I'll talk to the kids and I'll tell them that it's not unrealistic to do that. It's kind of just to give them inspiration to believe in themselves that they can do whatever they want.
It's awesome, man.
And that's the Role Models Yorkshire thing, and then the Young Enterprise thing. That's something I've recently started doing, where it's like a competition, and I'm very competitive, where groups, I don't even know if it's worldwide or just in the UK, but groups of kids at schools will come up with business ideas, and they'll compete against the other. It's not necessarily about who earns the most money, but it's about who's got the best idea and things like that. I'm just there as kind of like an advisor, because I've got some experience, and if there's anything I can do to help, I will. But I enjoy that. I enjoy everything.
So do they take these businesses and put them into real world practice?
These are real businesses, yeah.
Wow.
These are real businesses.
And these are
school kids, and the money at the end, they keep it. Do you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It is, like I was saying, I wish they would have done it when I was in school.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It is.
I've seen more and more of this, and I'm seeing it definitely globally that kids now, let me start that again. So I think the schooling system is going to fail.
Yeah,
I don't think it's sustainable anymore.
No.
I think the schooling system's great for maybe 25-30% of children, you know, that works really well for them, but as you know, and as the rest of it, and as everyone else at home knows, everybody learns in their own way.
Yeah.
And you can't put every single individual into that classroom environment and say, right, that's how you're going to learn. It just doesn't work like that. And I think this era of entrepreneurship, that's absolutely exploding now. The fact that we've got these programs that are going on that are helping kids like this, I think it's outstanding. I think it's absolutely amazing.
Definitely.
I think there is going to be a massive collapse with the schooling, which is going to take a massive rise to young kids venturing out and becoming entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
I think the only worries with that is there'll be a massive
Is that
economic
necessarily
crash.
a good thing?
Well, I think this will cause an economic crash because it's not sustainable. The economy will not be able to sustain.
That's very true.
Which is why we've got to get established quick.
It's just that I just don't think a lot of people are made to be an entrepreneur.
Again.
And the problem is that everyone wants to be one now. But
it's the cool thing to do.
It is, but
Sorry.
No, I don't know. You just gotta know yourself. You got to be self-aware of what you're good at.
It's not just that either. It is so hard.
It is hard, yeah.
It's so. I mean, I think that's the wrong way to put it. I think I'm saying that to try and get it across to any individuals that are still unsure. It's not hard. It's amazing. It's great. It's fun, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So I wouldn't say it was hard.
I always say it is hard, but when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work.
Exactly. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Because if I was saying, if this was my job, if it was to reverse roles, let's say, and rather than having 9 to 5, this was like 9 to 5, and that's not something I was interested in, I couldn't get put. I would not be able to physically do it.
No.
It's only because, as you said, it's something I love.
It's regretting it, like it's because that's the thing. What I don't want to regret not trying. I could fail, but I've tried, and that's what it's about. Is I couldn't just not try.
Even then, I still don't class it as failure. I class it as evolution because there's no way that I personally think that you as an individual, from what I've got to know, would ever go to a 9 to 5 job.
No.
So I think even if, let's say, something happened with this specific, I think that'd evolve and you take that experience and put
that's
into
the thing.
another
I've got
business.
these experiences, which I've learned, and I think over the time I've been doing this, I think I've learned a lot. Considering like when you look at some people who are 40, 50, but they're old. Their way of business is changed. It's all online. They don't know about social media apps or anything like that. They won't succeed in this world. It's different.
We see it in our company. There's a real mixed range of age groups doing the same job in our company. You can see the difference between as Springfield innovates and brings new technologies in, touchscreen and this, that and other, and like the kids our age and younger are coming in and no problem, and then you get the older generation that are scratching their head thinking it's, unfortunately for them, that era didn't have the opportunities that we have now, and we are blessed. We're in this crazy era where we just have access to everything.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like now you can earn money from getting out of bed.
Yeah, you can. You seriously can.
You can.
You ever thought about dropshipping?
Well, I mean, technically I do. Which is funny because, like, when I started, I didn't know what dropshipping was, and then because I remember my thought process, I was thinking, how can I? Because obviously the made to measure, so I was thinking, how can I send the suit to the customer or fit some, but I can't stock it?
Yeah.
So then obviously I thought, well, I'd have to do it direct from the manufacturer to the customer. Is that possible? I didn't know.
Oh,
And then I figured out, there's such a thing, it's called dropshipping. So dropshipping is good.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, why did you decide, I suppose, to stock your clothing instead of dropshipping?
It's something I've really
There's pros and
about.
cons to both.
There is. I think the issue that I've got is if I was to drop, so I could actually pay Amazon and keep all my stuff.
Amazon FBA.
Yeah, keep it all in their stores and so you know about, which would be great for you, just give me next day 10 or
Yeah.
you don't know how much also costs.
Yeah.
But that is something I'm seriously debating because for someone like me, I can't say, right, come over my stuff from me and it'll take a week, it's 4 days to a week to get to you. When Amazon like that, it'll come next day, that's the normal now. So I can't do that. So I am seriously now contemplating about putting it into Amazon.
Yeah, I was actually going to suggest that to you
Yeah.
actually.
But for me,
It's about keeping the cost down, isn't it, when you start?
it is, and this is a serious thing that I'm really going to debate now. But for me to drop ship, that's like 6 week turnaround.
Yeah.
Whereas stocking, I've got, if I ship out, it's, next day delivery, 2 day delivery, something like that, depending on where it's getting shipped. So
Yeah.
so that was the old reason I wanted to stock. The other thing is as well is having those clothes on hand means that I no longer have that middleman to deal with. Once they're here.
Mm.
So if there's any issue at their end, I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to. That's that middleman cut out of it. So that's the reason.
Have you ordered like any samples, tested the products?
Yes. I had my first round of samples, which was horrendous. The HUD was massive because I've ordered some tracksuit bottoms, some t-shirts, some hoodies. The fabric was, if you did sweat it or you go out in the rain, for instance, you just held water like one round. So the fabric was awful. The HUD was massive. The drawstring was huge. All this kind of jargon was going on. So we sorted all that out. We readjusted all the technical packs. Then got them sent back to them. So I just had the next round of PP samples, pre-production samples, which were awesome. I've just had some raised rubber moulds put on and got hidden zips and some really cool stuff going on, really technical. So I've just had them there awesome, so just approved to go to bulk, which means everything's there, everything's set up. So I'm hoping for 2 weeks to be created, and then it's your delivery time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all networking and stuff.
That's why it's about, man. It's meeting people.
Getting out there, networking is everything, getting in front of people.
Definitely, that's the thing, because you just getting more connections, and when you need help, you never know.
I think the other thing as well is that is why so many businesses, older era businesses, are failing because they're not readjusting to social media.
Yeah.
Still doing TV ads, things like that. You've got to wear Israel's there. Where people are.
Yeah, billboards and things like that.
It's just not what looks like a billboard. Everyone's driving, they're on the phones
Exactly,
now.
that's the thing. Exactly.
Yeah. So I noticed you did quite a bit with Luke Campbell and.
Well, I train with him because I'm from St Paul's.
Right.
So I used to train with him, yeah.
Also, seen a few bits on your social media feeds like.
Yeah.
So, do you box often then? Is it something you do regularly?
To be honest, at the minute, no, because I've been so focused on this. Like the same with you, like you can't get to the gym as much, and I feel bad because I'm getting older.
Oh, you're not that old yet.
I'm not that old, but.
Wait till you're 30. It's crazy the time restrictions. I think again, it's that thing where if you love it, it takes over your life in a good way. But if you're not prepared for the game and you're not invested in something that you love, then you're just going to fall apart. Because my gym is practically non-existent these past few months, and it's like you just between family and my partner, she's just left her job to go full time uni degree and took a second-hand job, so I'm practically a full-time dad at the minute. I've got my business to run, I've got my normal job.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
That's why I'm fortunate, no kids, no, nothing like that.
Best thing you'll ever do, but God, it's the time. Yeah. So, I think, again, when individuals like us first start out, I think one of the big key things that a lot of people overlook, and again, this is hopefully good information for you guys and good content, is it's the most boring part of it, but the legalities.
Yeah.
So for someone in our field, we have to check out all the legalities about getting things from sent for abroad. So I didn't realise that if you get the wrong cotton, You get like a £10,000 fine.
Alright, I didn't know that.
Oh mate, yeah, it's mega serious, especially if you're ordering from like places like China and things like that. You have to be mega. There's a really precise way that you have to check, and it has to meet certain standards. And if you get the wrong thing sent over,
Right.
oh mate, you get
Is that their law?
No, that's UK.
That's the UK laws?
Yeah,
Alright.
huge fines for it, mate.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? You've got to look into all that. For me, it was a taxi. I didn't know nothing about taxis.
I got stung with when I bought all my media equipment. I thought, right, I can buy it all in the UK, but I got it from the States. Because I managed to get like
Cheaper.
1,500 quid cheaper, a huge saving, you know. So I was like, oh, I can go to the States. But I had no idea that because it was outside the EU, you got importation tax.
Oh, yeah.
20% of what you spend.
Yeah.
So I was like,
So it ended up costing more.
It basically cost me exactly the same as what you would have given at bought here, but that was a massive shock when I get knocked on the door saying we want another
But that's the thing, like
£1,000.
these experiences, now you know, don't you?
It's a
In
learning
future,
curve.
you know.
It's a learning curve, it is. And I think one of the big things that I'd like to get out to these guys that I found in my personal experience, it might be very different for you, but when I first started, I was like, right, this is how much I need to start my business.
It's always going to be more.
I'm going to give myself a little nest egg, but I'm now able to get this.
Yeah.
And then a year into it, I was like, right, my nest egg's gone. I'm absolutely on the verge of breaking out here. I think my advice would be find what you need. When you do your cash flows and things like that, find what you need and then double it.
Yeah, oh definitely, yeah.
I think that's...
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, that was...
It's always going to cost more than you think, because at the end of the day, you don't know. When you're inexperienced like us, we don't know. We don't know about these import costs and things like that.
I think, I don't know about you, but I went into it so cocky as well. Thinking I'm learning everything I need to know and take all the costs.
When I did it was never, like, as I say, the reason I bought a suit was for me. I just bought it for myself, and I thought, I wasn't thinking, like, you obviously went into this with the intention of selling the products. I didn't. I just went on for wearing it. And then the idea just came from there, like, I could sell these. These are stick a logo in, do you know what I mean? It's mad.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you get backpacks tagged and ready to go then?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm.
Yeah. I was debating whether I should do it separately or... At one point I was thinking about doing it myself, and I thought, as soon as you start scaling that, it's just another problem down the road, so I started that idea off. So I might just find out if actually that does the same thing.
I'd say for you is, so you're getting everything sent to you. I'd say just do everything in-house for now, because get a few orders and then you send them on yourself. I wouldn't rush into the Amazon FBA.
It's definitely something that I'm
Because you want some customer feedback first.
Of course you do, yeah, of course you do. I'm putting it in, I'm now entering it into my business model to see how it's going to work. And as it stands now, it's pointless. But when I start looking at scaling and scalability starts to become relevant, that's when I'm going to have to start doing it, because you can't keep
definitely.
And I'm not willing to.
I've considered doing it myself, because I want to expand into, obviously I just do suits now, I want to do shirts, I want to do hats, I want to do ties, I want to do all accessories, and it would make sense for me to also do Amazon FBA, because I mean they've got warehouses all over the world.
It's next day delivery.
Next day, definitely.
Crazy.
Yeah. And obviously the other thing is, like, if you're drop shipping, it's like I said, there's pros and cons. One con is that if you're selling from different vendors, and then someone orders, say, in my example, a hat and a tie, they won't come together because they're coming from two different places, so they're going to arrive separately, and they won't be like. It's hard to get them customised as well.
When I was speaking to an individual last week, maybe Matt actually, he was telling me about, and it was something I've never read on before, about it's like the delight effect. So basically, let's say Amazon for instance, when Amazon released Prime, and it was like, right, you don't have to wait 3 years a week, you can have it next day, everyone was like, oh my god, this is amazing, you get this big delight effect, so it's like, this is amazing, this is brilliant. And then obviously that then drops off, and I think you've got to have that delight effect, and I think if you're working backwards from that, so like you say, you have one thing come, but then you have to wait 3 days for the next thing, you're losing that.
Well, I always think to succeed in business is to exceed expectations. If your customers are happier than they think that they're going to be, then they're going to be a repeat customer.
That is absolutely me.
But I'm just thinking then that I think we're making it sound like, I don't want to put people off. I think we're making it sound, because at the end of the day, right?
Do you know what? Just sorry, Danny, but just to cut into that, because mate, yeah, you are right. So I relate business to like having kids. It is the best thing you will ever do in your life. The most rewarding, best thing you'll ever do in your life. Honestly, if I had to choose between my business and my kid, it'd be a close call. You know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think the message we're trying to put across is do something you love.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it keeps being amazing and don't become a drag.
And yeah, just don't maybe set your expectations. Don't, like you were saying, don't go into it thinking I'm gonna earn $1 million in 6 months or anything like that. You just gotta be more realistic. I mean, but you can get started very easily. If you heard of print on demand, do you know what that is? Yeah. You could now go set up a website. You don't even need a website. You can do it through Facebook. Go on a print on demand website. Customise some t-shirts and clothing, sell them for free.
I was looking at some real cool stuff with print on demand, and it was an algorithm. So if you go real niche with it, so you like do something like coffee and pugs.
Yeah, if you put two, yeah, exactly.
You need things together and then sell it, and especially now, so like you go on things like Facebook and you market to that audience, you can direct market now. So anybody who loves pugs and coffee, I mean, you can make a good
What I'd say is with business is it's easier now than it's ever been, but it's more competitive than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets hard, but it is definitely easier because you couldn't do any of this 20 years ago. You couldn't do this.
10 years ago.
10 years ago you couldn't do this.
10 years ago.
Exactly.
70 businesses an hour being registered in the UK alone. It's staggering. How long will it carry on like that?
I think we're like a pyramid, like a triangle, and at the top you've got like your people like us, like your self-employed people. At the bottom you've got your workers, but without the people at the bottom, the people at the top just collapse.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because you can't do it. You need people. Like obviously when you get big enough, you need to start employing people.
Yeah.
And if everyone was an entrepreneur, then you're gonna have no one to employ.
Well, that's true. That's true as well. That's why we need the 30% to stay in school.
That's the thing, because it's not. Some people are happy. That's what it's all about. Is happiness, and some people are happy working in a job for all their life.
Yeah.
Not for me, but some people are.
I spent the last 8 years extremely happy in my job, happy in my home life. Things was great, but it was the tediousness of it, and again it was that thing of you with the nail on my head, feeling like I wasn't progressing, I wasn't going nowhere, and I was lucky enough to really think, right, this is what I want to do, and I found that.
Would you say you're like a risk taker?
Do you know?
Because I'd say to succeed in business, it is a big risk. You need to be a risk taker. People think I'm crazy because, like, it is a big risk. I could lose everything. If this fails, I could lose. Whereas in a secure job, there's no risk.
No.
And that's why people look at people and they think, why would you risk everything? Why would you do that?
A lot of the lads at work, who I work around, I've worked with for years, obviously, they've all said the same thing in the sense of, like, I've invested a large amount of money, like, more than a deposit on a house, you know, I've invested a large amount of money, and luckily I've got a partner who's been like good enough to let me progress with this. But that alone is so daunting when you're taking all this money and thinking, right, I'm going to plough this in something that can fail. I think you're right, I've got to be a bit risk taker. I think since I've established, and I'm now coming to the point, I'm now getting a little bit nervous about those risks. The thing that's worrying me at the minute is scaling too quick. I think this is I've been doing a lot of research into this, and I'm really trying to tackle the long process of the 10 to 15 years of the brand, more brand than business.
Yeah.
And what's worrying me is as things with the podcast and networking, you start, you know, I'm worrying that I'm going to be able to scale quicker than I can deal with, like, be able to get clothes out to these people and get these, and then you end up with a 6 months like sorry, 6 to 8 weeks waiting period before you can do it again, and things like this. And that's a bit of an.
Again, it's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem,
but you need to be prepared for that.
You know, yeah. And you just ride the wave. When it comes down to it, I just ride the wave, and if out of stock, hopefully we'll have this noise. You ride the wave, don't you? But yeah, it's nervous, but it's an exciting nervousness.
Yeah, because there's a big reward that can come out of it.
How do you find yourself? Do you put yourself in the brand or business sector, or both?
What's the difference?
You are right. I
would say both.
I don't know. I have this perception of brand being completely different to business.
Yeah, both.
So I think I see brands like I work a lot on like I'm not like on podcasting, but then also like everything that I do, anything that I put out on my socials, I have the exact same starting image with the exact same sound. And that's working like things like voice, when voice comes in, if you can hear that sound, you'll recognise that that's my brand kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's like brand building. And again, that focus on knowing that this probably isn't ever going to take off until 7, 8, 9, 10 years down the road. So I'm thinking all about building branding, getting my brand, forget about selling, getting my brand in front of as many people's faces as much as I can, as quick as I can, as long as I can, to become a household product.
Yeah.
So the selling part of it is just keep your business ticking over and focus on brand.
It's funny, like what you're doing here, I've not done any of this. I suppose I kind of think of, I have like a personal brand, which is me, and then I have the businesses that come off of that. That's the way I think of it. Which to be honest, like I could be doing a lot better if I was doing stuff like this, but I've kind of been focusing on one thing at a time.
Mate, stay in your own lane. I think the things with brand building is you are constantly in that mindset of it's put me in a mindset where I'm almost worried about scaling. Do you know, I'm worried about growing the business because I'm focusing on this, and it's putting me out of balance at the minute, and I kind of need to get that balance back in and start focusing less about the brand and more about the business.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? See the difference? So the business is like the selling stuff part of it, the brand is like, so I'm out of balance at the moment, and I need to kind of bring that into balance because it's making me worried that I'm growing so quick on this end and not enough on this end.
I think you're worrying too much at such an early stage. Just get out there, get some results, and then you need results so that you know like what you need to change and what you need to alter. Because one problem, like I say, I'm a perfectionist, but one problem is that you can assume what people want. Like you might think, well, I would buy that, but just because you would buy that, other people would buy that, and that's one thing I say.
I think if you don't market test your products, which you are exactly right, and I was reluctant to do it with my first round of PP clothing because it was such a mess. So you show it to family, show it to friends, things like that, but you can't really use that. It's just false audience.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. I think I did get some good feedback off a lot of people. There was a certain, I did a design and I hated it. It's green, it's like light green. It's a strange design, and I thought it was disgusting.
People liked it.
Everybody was like,
that's what I'm trying to say. You just try different things.
Yeah, you've got to.
And let the market decide, let the people decide. Because at the end of the day, those are the ones who are buying off you. You have to give them what they want, not what you want.
How are you capturing the information?
What do you mean?
So when people visit your site, you have your analytics, obviously. So when people email, so you obviously repeat marketing, and you have your analytics to tell you how many things are. But how do you capture this information to say? Do you just look at what's selling the most, or have you got?
I mean, I can see what's selling the most. I can see what product people are adding to the cart the most, what people are just viewing the most, things like that. You have split testing?
No.
Split testing, I think you also call it A/B testing. It's when you run two ads simultaneously, say on Facebook, and it's kind of like it's like science where you're keeping everything the same, but you'll make one change, and maybe you'll change the copy, or maybe you'll change the image, and then from these two ads running to the same people at the same time, you can see which one obviously was
more successful.
Exactly, yeah. So then, and then you've got to change the one thing. So it could be the picture, it could be the exact same copy but different pictures, and then you know, this picture is more engaging. So then you could do it again. You could use that picture, but then maybe do different
colours,
whatever. And then that's kind of how you build the perfect ad.
That's good. That's
Do
good.
that. Look into it. Split testing. Yeah.
We'll do. I think
because in the initial stages, it's all about getting the data. Like I say, you can't assume what people want, so you need to get the data so you know what people want, and then you just push it in front of them. You're giving people what they want to see in front of their eyes, and they'll throw the money at it.
That's it. Yeah. I think that's really, really, really good advice for me personally, because my marketing strategy, my social media.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how are you going to be? Have you thought about that? How are you going to be marketing?
So, obviously, you have the outside stuff, your email marketing, things like that, but my main marketing focus is obviously to do with things like the podcast. So what I'll do is I'll create this large pool of content, and then you get that content, you put it on YouTube, you put it on Facebook, chop it down into a little bit, bang it across your socials, or obviously even like TikTok everywhere, absolutely everywhere, LinkedIn, all over.
You watch Gary Vee, don't you?
I love Gary Vee. I love Gary Vee, and I've basically taken this strategy and I'm trying to implement that. That's exactly where the podcast came from.
Right,
Gary Vee. For anybody out there who doesn't devour Gary Vaynerchuk's content, go do it now because you're missing out. And basically, so I'm taking Gary's platform and implementing that.
So you're on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok,
I've got no experience with it, but
I've just started, and it's the weirdest thing ever, mate. It's makes me feel so old. It's just full of kids. But do you know what I find TikTok really helps with? Is it's giving me so many good ideas about my ads, about how to create ads, because you see all these trending things that's trending with kids, and it's all these new ideas and these strange, and these kids are doing all these crazy stuff.
Right.
But you think, well, I could take a bit of that, bang it into one, I'd get my clothes on, and that'd be awesome, And then I can take that, and then like that idea and implement that into say like a Facebook ad. It's really good in that sense, but it does make me feel quite old.
I can tell you've done your research. You know your stuff.
You've got to. You know that. You've got to. I think that's probably again some of the best advice that I could give to anybody is you've got to develop content. You can't half-arse it. You've got to look into it.
You always need to be learning. Always.
It's a constant learning curve. I'm going to ask this question. I've just made this decision, but I'm going to ask this question with every individual that I speak to on this podcast, because I've found this seems to be a recurring thing. So I'm a hobbyist. I've gone through a million different hobbies. I don't watch TV, and what I found is after 6 months of doing something, I get bored with it.
Yeah.
So what I then do is, I think what's made me love business so much is because just by the time I've learned something, I'm then ready to go into something else and make something completely new, Are you like that? Is that something you decide?
I'd say I am like that, yeah. Which is probably why I got into business in the first place, because it's that repetitiveness I don't like.
Constantly something new, constantly learning. I get bored quick.
No, I think you're right, to be honest, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I think
I'm always trying new things. I'm always thinking, what can I try? What have I not tried?
Yeah.
I agree.
I think even the boring stuff, I get this real sense that it's like you go through some legalities things and you learn all this boring stuff, and it's so hard, and then you get to the end of it and you like feel so achieved that you managed to do it, and you took that knowledge and you've implemented it, and you can move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
The thing is,
learning curve.
yeah, I mean, like I've done all that with Danny Comerford's clothing, but now when I'm doing other things, it's a lot quicker because I already know what I'm doing. Like in terms of the legalities and stuff like that, knock it out quick. When you look at how long it took me to build the first website, for example, and then the next one took me less than a week.
I'll tell you a terrible story. So before I started this business, I started another venture, My very first business, like my very first website that I ever did, my very first business, and basically I'd learned about, it's left me man, what do you call it when you link something to, say, Amazon, I put a link in my description, I get paid for every time. Affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
So I learned about affiliate marketing. This was the early stage when I very first started looking into business. I learned about affiliate marketing. So I was like, right, awesome. So what's the biggest audience out there? So it was mums, right? So then, and we just had a job at the time as well. So I was like, right. So I created a website, pretending to be a mum. Right, pretending to be a mum.
Yeah.
And I started trying all this thing. And because obviously it failed terribly because it was so natural, it was so unreal. It was nothing resonated. It was awful, mate. It was awful. But that was my first.
Did you make any money from it?
No, not a penny, mate. Not a penny. No, it was awful. I give it up pretty much instantly because it didn't resonate one show. It was, I had a woman to for one thing, let alone a mum. I can't sit there and try and.
Yeah, I think you've got to be authentic, genuine.
That was all about thinking about the money. I was thinking, right, I want to start a business. I want to get money.
That's what I'm saying. Going back to you can't just do it for the money. You got to do it because you enjoy it.
You can't. Yeah. That was my first ever learning curve. That. Don't be an idiot. Yeah. So, what, Danny, are your end goals? What are you planning? Sorry, mate, I just want to pop that out because that's just some more.
Yeah, cheers.
Pick up the mic. So, what are your end goals, or if you've got any, or where do you see yourself being in 15 years time? How do you plan on scaling?
That's a few questions there. My end goals. To be honest with you, I don't really know. Like, I just take it day by day, and I've never really had an aim. For me, it's just about doing as much as I can, progressing as far as I can go. Like, I always thought of business as like a legacy, which is probably why I call it my surname. It's something that can outlive me, and I like the idea of that. I don't like the idea that one day I'll be gone and I'll be forgotten and I'll have nothing left behind. Can you relate to that?
Yeah, absolutely, mate, absolutely. I think with legacy is such a huge thing. I think it's never been something that's never been so much of a bother for me, in the sense of it's not something I've ever certainly sat and thought about or I see it out there a lot.
I think about it every day.
Yeah, I see it out there a lot, and I know that affects a lot of people dramatically, and I think that's such good motivation.
Yeah,
such good motivation.
Definitely.
But no, to be honest, personally, it's not something. I think when I'm gone, bugger it. I don't care. Yeah.
No, it's funny how people are different. But what's my end goal? What was the other questions?
So, where do you see yourself in 15 years?
15 years I'll be 38. Wow, I'll be an old man.
Jesus, cheers, man.
You're not 30.
No, I'm 20 now, actually. Yeah, I'm pushing myself all the way, actually. I feel 38, but...
38? I don't know. That's a long... I don't know where I'll be next week.
Yeah.
Where do I see myself? Where would I like to see myself? I'd like to see myself as financially, I don't know the word is, like
secure,
yeah, exactly. But it's not all about the money, is it? That's not why I do it. I don't know, it's a good question. Where do you see yourself in 15 years?
So me personally, I think that I'm gonna start with you.
You'll be 44.
I'm 44. I'm an old man. Again, financially secure is me.
Financially secure, yeah. I'd like to be financially secure, like well before 15 years.
Oh yeah.
Like before I'm 30, like I started young. I started at 20, so surely. But by 30, what was it, 38? I don't know,
see yourself having multiple businesses and...
Definitely, I think I'll have multiple businesses, but I think once I'm financially secure, that won't be my aim anymore. I won't be doing it for the money. I'll be doing it to make a difference. Like I do a lot of, like I say, I do a lot of voluntary things now, like these role models and the young enterprise and stuff like that. Maybe go down that route and try to maybe inspire people, because I think I'll feel like I'll obviously be financially successful, like, and I'll feel like I've been there, I've done it. I can try to help these people who come from like the same place as I do.
It's going to be scary to think where. Sorry, it's going to be scary to think where the school and the kids are going to be in 15 years.
In 15 years, the way that the world is changing, like 15 years, it's going to be completely different than it is now. It's already past 15 years. It's completely different.
Yeah. I think when I picture myself and my goals, I have goals working back from 75. So I picture it, the way I envision it is, I envision it as a mountain. There's a cloud line, and above that cloud line is like 75, like the goals can't even see them yet. So then below that I've got different goals set out, and then like right now, that's when I first started, I was like not even on the mountain. Now I'm a little bit open, I'm getting to my first ridge, and that first ridge will be, I've got a long way off yet, but that's when I become financially secure enough to be able to leave my current job and then take my job full time. And then that'll be my first goal, and then the next. So that's all I've done. Actually, naturally, I've always envisioned it like that. I might even get a giant poster made, I can design one and make one, and get it right on the wall.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Like a checkers.
Yeah, it's just how I've always envisioned it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, for me, I think it's just about leaving a legacy. That's like why I do everything I do, I suppose. The one day I'll probably won't be here. Do you know what I mean?
So, I was speaking to Matt the other day, as I told you, Mr. McDass, and he told me about this book. And it's, do you know the owner of Nike?
Yeah.
Have you read his book?
No.
So, I can't speak for it as yet, 'cause I'm only about 3 hours, 4 hours into it.
I'm not sure who owns. Is this the guy who founded Nike? I know who founded, but I don't know who owns it now.
Isn't it? Well, it's the founder.
Yeah.
And the book is called Shoe Dog. Got an Audible. There you go. There's a plug-in for anybody. That's I'm not getting paid for Audible.
Affiliate link in description.
Yeah. Get that. It's called Shoe Dog, and I'm only a couple of hours into it. Phil Knight is the guy who started. Who started it. So Matt's recommended this book to me. I haven't actually got through it yet, so I can't say exactly how it is, but it started really well. Should have a little look
Yeah,
at
I'll check that out. No, I've looked into like how it got started and that. The logo, I think I really went into it as a college campus in the US and just paid someone like, I can't remember how much, but it started the logo.
Yeah, I haven't got to that bit yet. Yeah. So,
I think to be honest, going back, is that their success was that they could see up and coming athletes before they were big, and they jumped on as like sponsors early in the early days before anyone else wanted to, and then they grew big, and then that's where they got the recognition.
That's what Gymshark did. That's how we got it. He basically went on social media and was like.
No, definitely, and I think for sportswear and things like that, I think that's quite important.
It's hard now.
Why? In what way?
Because there's so many people doing it.
Yeah.
Back when Ben Francis, I think his name is, when he first did it, there was nobody else doing it. So he went and this guy went, yeah, of course, mate, that's not a problem. It's cool, send some stuff. Brilliant, innovative, brilliant marketing.
Yeah.
There's actually a name for it now, I don't know what it's called, but there's that many people doing it.
Yeah, but the thing is that you need to bear in mind is that it's only going to keep getting more and more competitive. Right now, it's the least competitive it's ever going to be.
That's a good
So you might think now, it's hard, but thinking of 10 years, it'll be even harder.
That's a good way of putting it. So, I am going to, because you've got to pay for people not to do this, so it's free, it's marketing, so definitely, there's no issue paying for it. Excuse me.
Influence marketing is very underpriced if you get the right person.
If you get the right
person. Don't be one of those who see someone with 40,000 followers and what they've bought and their engagement, they're getting 10 likes per post.
This is the other thing as well, it's like,
and this is all things that you learn over time, because the majority of people, they look and they see someone with 40,000 followers and they think, oh wow, he's doing well, but he's bought them. And you can tell he's bought them because of his engagement.
And you need to, for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about here, so you can buy lists
Yeah.
of people, and basically that's what we're talking about here. So you can buy. So what Danny's saying is when you see these people who have these X amount of followers, they've been out on paid for lists. They don't actually that's not engagement.
It's not engagement. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you've got to be very aware of that. Sorry, God. So yeah, so that is. I mean, marketing's marketing. So that's definitely the way I'm definitely gonna go with it. But I'm trying to think like Ben did. I'm trying to think of ideas that are different than what anybody else is doing. Get around that. Get on instead of staying in your lane. Just get on the fringes. Get on the outside. Think outside the box and try and look just innovate. Well, you clearly don't because you're doing it.
I try to, like in terms of advertising, I try to think of other ways. Like I think publicity and things like that is to be honest, like you see me in the whole building. That's how you found me into it, right?
Yeah.
And people think that cost me nothing, and people pay to go. They put me on the front page, and I got a lot of local sales. All of that cost me nothing, and I just think try as many different forms of advertising as you can.
Got to.
Yeah.
Got to. Dude, it is all about real estate, getting in front of people's faces. It's what the full game is. It's what the whole game is. You've got to get in front of people's faces. Right now, that's what, and you go where the audience is. So right now, that's social media. It might change. Next one, then you follow it. It changes the voice you follow it. Got to go where the audience is. But yeah, I'm trying to come up with good ideas at the moment. I'm failing successfully.
The problem, what's a big problem these days is that, like, you're a genuine entrepreneur. You're doing it because you've got goals. You want to leave your current job. You want to do this full time. Most people, I don't know about most. I don't know if I can say most, but a lot of people do it because they just want that in their Instagram bio, entrepreneur or whatever, and
instant failure.
It's a big problem. It's a big problem because, like, I feel as though it kind of dilutes us.
It does, yeah.
We kind of fall into that category. And people think, oh yeah, well I know so-and-so is an entrepreneur, but it's not. It's not an entrepreneur.
No. So I've fallen out of love with the word entrepreneur. I don't recognise myself as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I've fallen out of love with it because it's almost seedy. It's almost seedy because, like you say, you've got all these people. They're just in it just for the name, like you say. And I just call myself, I'm just a businessman or whatever. I find entrepreneurs so seedy. It's so fake, but these people just fall away instantly because a lot of these people go on and just look at the vanity metrics and look at like how many likes am I getting, how many views. No, you failing.
Yeah.
You're gonna get nowhere. Guys, if you're relating to any of this, stop listening now. We don't want you on the channel. Stay away from all that vanity metrics. Do not worry about likes and who's following you. Let's say, for instance, I have 1 million followers and they're all giving me great likes and great thumbs up, and Danny only has 5,000 followers. And he gets no likes, no thumbs up, but that's natural. That's sorry, what I'm looking for here, Danny. That's like that. These people are creating traffic straight to his page, and these are converting into sales. He's 5,000 converting into sales. Don't matter how many likes I get, if I'm getting no sales out of that, then it's pointless. It means nothing.
Yeah.
It means nothing. Forget about the vanity metrics.
It's insecurity, everyone. It's a big insecurity. Big problem.
Again, Gary Vaynerchuk got into fan for that. Go check him out. He's a dude. But it's right, and you get all these. I think a lot of it stems from. I think it's got to be 80-90% of this stems from young kids that have coming up, grown up on social media, and I think they see everyone starting a business like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And then like they're so obsessed with likes and things like that, and just calling themselves an entrepreneur, like buy a few shoes, do a bit of dropshipping, but not in it for
That's
the
the
money.
only thing, isn't it? Like,
Sorry, they're just in it for the money, just picture themselves in like this Lamborghini and stuff like that.
I don't know about you, but I don't spend a lot of money on a lot of stuff.
Oh mate, oh no.
Because at the end of the day, I'm supposed to be, how can I do that? I'll let you answer first, because if you say that you do.
No, mate, don't worry about it, but I'm awful with money, so all this media equipment, mate, I don't spend money. things like...
The thing is, right, I look at all this as an investment, and everything I buy, I look at as an investment, and if it's not something that's going to benefit me, then I don't buy it. It's as simple as that. And I don't buy things to show off, like a lot of people do.
That's never interested me. I've never been one for labels or anything like that. Never been interested in that. But I like my toys. I like my toys. I think, and again, I'm a hobbyist. So I mean, not so much more because I've got a business to focus on, but I go through hobby. I used to go through hobby after hobby after hobby. So I've had to. I think you must have done this. You must have done this. I can tell because of the way you are. I had to. The first 6 months of my learning curve, starting a business, I basically had to. What's the best way to put this? So indoctrinate myself. I had to indoctrinate myself. I had to rechange the way my brain works basically and think of, right, I've got to be like this, I've got to do this, and basically I did like listen to these like motivational videos for 8 hours a day, just constantly, and I had to basically indoctrinate myself and change the way I think in order to think, well, instead of me spending 6 hours a night sat watching TV or doing whatever I'm doing, I'm going to spend 6 hours a night on my business, and that set me on my path then.
I would say I've changed the way I think. I've evolved the way I think.
Yeah, same thing, just better way of saying it, but yeah, evolved. So I was speaking to a friend about this and he put it in a really good way, and I cannot think of what he said. But basically, so I'm having to do the same now with spending. I'm having to change my behaviour. It's behavioural change, changing my behaviour. So I'm having to change my behaviour from this, seeing something and thinking, oh, I want that toy, I want that, I'm going to buy that. I've had to change that now, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm finally getting to the point where I'm becoming not greedy with my money, but I'm becoming a lot more
frugal.
Yeah, smart. Wise.
Yeah.
Smart. And this, at the end of the day, you can't have a business and just piss your funds away.
Yeah.
So that was something I've really struggled with, and that's something I'm finally now seeing a change in. Okay, mate, so you might have to pronounce this for me. So Oculusa.
Yeah, Oculusa. Yeah.
Oculusa. Tell us a bit about that, mate. What's going on with that? It's a new venture.
Yeah, so I started that about a week ago now. It's only going to be about a week.
Really? So this is brand new, is it?
November the 4th, or something like that. Yeah, brand new. Yeah, it's the blue. Have you heard of blue light filter glasses?
I've not until I've read up about them. I've not read up about them. I've seen them on your website.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's essentially what I'm selling.
So basically, what these glasses do are computers and
they'll block the. I've got a pair over there actually. They block the blue light which is emitted from screens, that's the harmful light, and that it causes a lot of problems. Have you ever noticed when a lot of people suffer with sleep loss, insomnia now, and one of the main culprits of that is looking at screens without these blue light glasses. Have you noticed when you're in bed, maybe scrolling through social media or whatever, and you just can't sleep?
Can't switch off.
And that's why it's the blue light that's keeping you awake. We've got a lot of health problems that it can cause, cataracts, headaches, a lot. And I think with me is obviously working on a computer a lot. I've always had trouble sleeping and switching off on the night when I'm on the computer all day. And they genuinely, they're proven to work, and I think there's not many people know about them. So it's about exactly a lot of people have not heard of them, and a lot of people could benefit from having them.
So someone like me who doesn't need glasses, could I wear some? Or?
I don't need glasses.
Oh, so
these are more of the clear lens glasses, but I think of it more as a prevention, and prevention is better than a cure. We wear these to prevent your eyesight from deteriorating, or these problems that could happen. And eventually, when you could actually need to wear prescription glasses, this is kind of reducing the risk of all these problems. So someone like you would be fine.
Awesome, mate.
But we are also looking into getting some. For people who do wear prescription glasses, like clip-on, lenses over the top as well, and things like that.
That's cool, right?
It is a big problem, and especially now. with everyone. Like, I think I read somewhere that the average person, I don't know if this is in this country as well, like it might just be the US, spends 11 hours a day looking at a screen. 11 hours.
I can believe it. At least. Phones, kids.
I mean, if you think work, looking at screens, education, you're looking at screens, entertainment, you're looking at screens, you're always looking at screens, and I think you check it like, I can't remember, like once every fucking minute.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I was watching. Big problem because when I get older, and these people get older, they're gonna have a lot of eyesight problems because of all this looking at screens all the time.
I would estimate that 80% of the world's population has like arthritis in thumbs as well. Do you know affections from scroll? I was watching this great podcast with Joe Rogan, and it was to do with he had a scientist on who studied sleep. He does all these different things to do with sleep. And
I think I might have seen that.
Oh, it was amazing, mate. It was really, really good. Because at one point, I was like living on 4 hours worth of sleep a day, and like, you know, because I was up at 6 o'clock and I was just out to get to the gym. What I had to do was basically give up the gym, so I can avoid doing this. Because I didn't realise, I was like, oh, I'm fine, it's working fine. I didn't realise how important sleep actually is. It's crazy. And one of the things that he was talking about was things like lights, even just like having your bedroom, like your hallway lights on or something. It stops like a specific enzyme or hormone from kicking in, which stops you from sleeping, and all these type of different things. It's a great podcast. It's really good.
Yeah, was that the one where he was talking? I remember he said something about like when he goes into his hotel room, he can never switch off properly. He can never get a proper full night's sleep.
That's right. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and what was it? Because I think it was actually out of his comfort. That's right.
I can't remember exactly, but yeah. No, definitely sleep is very important. But your eyes, like, for me, out of all the 5 senses, these are the most important.
You don't want to lose them.
I don't want to lose them,
Yeah. Cool, mate. Well, listen, Danny, it's been amazing having you on the show, on the podcast, mate. I'm going to cut it there.
No, it's been good, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, mate. Thank you for coming on, and, you know, any networking or anything we can do, anything I can do.
Definitely,
anything like that.
Yeah, well, same for you, yeah. Call us to help.
Been a pleasure, bud. Awesome, mate.
I hope you keep doing it. I'll come again.
Yeah, we'll get going again, especially like.